Welcome to week 3, day 1, problem interview exercise. You're probably wondering, Matt, what are you talking about when you mention the problem interview? Well, what I mean is that this exercise is really to start to get you out there, talking with real people, hearing real feedback, and really getting into the world of the people that are, to start with, that are immediately in your immediate circle, and to really start to get that information, that feedback, their opinions on what they say is their biggest challenges with regards to what you're offering. Okay, so um, what this really is for you is to, the intention here is for you to begin to take action now. Like, it's week 3, it's beginning to be halfway through the program. You've done a lot of great work on, looking at the customer avatar. You've done a lot of great work on getting your mindset in the right place. Now, I want you to get out there and discover what it is that people are really looking for with what it is you have to offer. Okay, so um, you can see here that I really just, want to have you getting out of that thinking and planning cycle, the paralysis by analysis cycle, and to start to skyrocket your learning and to discover what people really need. It's also for you to save time by, knowing how to solve those problems that people share in exactly in the way that they need it solved, rather than, wasting, your precious time, your time that you could be earning, the time, more important, that you could be making a difference. Um, you know, to shortcut that by months or years of guessing. It's also to give you, a framework and a structure, to reach out to your immediate contacts. This is the purpose of the worksheet. The outcomes I want you to get here is I want you to become super clear about what problems people are actually dealing with in your niche. Um, I want you to also to overcome the fear of perceived judgment, or even the perceived lack of readiness, or the lack of ability, or whatever the negative opinion you might have about yourself and your um, ability to deliver. I want you to really push up against that fear and to overcome it. The best way to do that is to get out there and speak with real people. In addition to that, I want your confidence in your idea to grow. Okay, so a lot of you right now in this position are still hoping that it's going to work out. You think you know you can do it, but you just need that evidence for yourself to know that, well, whether you can do it. And I can tell you now, that's nothing like making stuff become real than by sharing it with other people that then tell you what it is that they deal with and how you can help. And you can start to realize that offering people a solution to their problems is actually quite simple. And what you'll see is that there are people out there who will be willing to pay for what you can already do. And here's the great thing. Even though these conversations you're going to be having aren't sales conversation by nature, the fact is that once you get talking to people and once they find out about what you're doing, and they might actually become your first customers. They'll start to fall in love with what you're doing, and the courage of which you're acting by, and the passion that you're sharing, and they might start to think, well, geez, I can do with someone like that. I've got XYZ issues that I think you can really help me with. And even though it might not be them, they might say to you, well, actually, I know this person. I know this other person that would love to speak with you and to really understand how to solve XYZ problem. So, exciting stuff. So really, step 1 is just to schedule your interviews, okay? So I've given a little bit more preamble here about the benefit here. I just literally want you to start making contacts with your immediate circle, okay? Don't get too caught up on your ideal customers and whether someone fits exactly your target market. You'll get there, trust me. But what's most important is to at least schedule one face-to-face, or less ideal, but obviously more realistic, phone interview, or even Skype interview each day of the next week. Okay, so even if it's like you can't schedule one on Wednesday, I'd like you to have, maybe 2 or 3 on Thursday or Friday, or do 3 or 4 on a weekend just to make up for it. The point is, I want you to speak with at least 6 people this week, okay? And that could be people that you run into around the place. It could be people you actually schedule time with at a cafe. It could be people that you actually end up having a Skype session with. Guys, face to face is better, because the whole point of learning from people is not just what they say, but how they feel, how they respond, their body language. Um, ultimately wanting to hear what's going to benefit them, but also you're going to be reading all their signals, their communication, their body language, the way they react to what you're talking about, positively and negatively, as immediate feedback for you to then take back into developing your program or your content or your solution. And the thing is that you'll begin to see that, whether this is a must-have solution for people, or whether this is a nice-to-have, and based on how they react. I mean, one example is I was talking to a guy who, was wanting to set up a business, and I asked him, how important is it for you to have this work out, and what would it mean for you if it didn't work out? And I could tell you that I could tell you what the response he gave was like a 10 out of 10 must have. Like, it was like, Matt, my life depends on this working out. I have to make this work. If I don't make this work, this is my last chance. I need your help. It was like that. And it just, affirmed for me that, like, for instance, the Desk to Destiny program is really important for many, many people out there, and it gave me the confidence to know to keep going, despite sometimes what my internal dialogue tells me. So, guys, you get the point, okay? So I've made my point now. You get what this is. I've, just moving on a little bit, I've given you a bit of a template here to use if you want to actually reach out. Please adjust it to suit your own style. I mean, I've made it a little bit of a process for you to follow, which is fine. Look, for speed, you can just grab that. I think that's pretty reasonable, what I provided there. Reach out, use that, otherwise use the phone. Step 2, your interview preparation. Okay, so I've literally given you like a template to follow. Now, this is a very well researched template. I just didn't make this up myself, just on a whim. This is a tried and tested process from the lean startup community, and really, again, don't sweat over the small stuff. Start to just put in your best effort when it comes to your business idea, your niche target market, and your compelling reason statement. Basically, wherever it's red, I'd like you to fill out. Create your story. So this is one of the stories that I've created right here. Insert your top 3 problems you've identified, and if your problems you've identified are quite long and winded, try to summarize them in just a sentence. Okay, so problem 1, 2, and 3. This is where you're going to explore your customer's worldview. Just let them talk. They'll start to raise other opinions and judgments about what they think their problems are. They might even come up with new ones, and this is where I want you to write the new ones. Wrapping up, this is really where you get to ask them whether they know anyone else that you can talk to, any other leads that they can offer you. If they object to you immediately giving you names and phone numbers to you directly, which is really ideal, but I can see that some people might not be comfortable with that. Then you can then give them a referral script for them to pass on by text or email. So after the interview, just give yourself 5 minutes just to write a few notes, and off you go, and that's it. So that is the problem interview day, which is obviously going to be an ongoing process. So I hope you enjoy it. Again, don't try and get this right. Just take action on it. That's what's most important. And I really, really look forward to seeing what you come up with. Okay, great to be with you again, and I'll look forward to speaking with you in the next video. Okay, bye.